All right, we're gonna retry the stream. We've tried resetting some connections during halftime, getting a couple of those other technical issues sorted. Still having a couple of them going on. We're just gonna try to leave it buffering if we can. That way, you guys can keep the stream as best as possible. The recording has been going since about 7 or 8 minutes into the game. You can blame it on me. I forgot to hit the button to start the recording, but the stream was going, so we'll try to lace those together if we can, get you the full game. But once again, we do apologize if there is buffering. We're at the mercy of the signal that we're provided. And right now, it's saying 5G as those storm systems have seemed to have pushed away, and not everyone is on their phones, so they're not clogging up all the service in the area. So we'll try it out like this through the second half and do as much as we can. Obviously, we'll have the recording continue so that we have that coverage. But at the end of the first half, Rain's unable to make anything out of that final drive. So the end of the first half scores Oakleaf 7, Rain 6. Oakleaf was able to score a touchdown and the extra point. Rains has been able to come off with 2 field goals for their 6 points. Oakleaf, we'll say some issues that we've been seeing on both sides. Oakleaf not able to get their passing game to connect. They've got the routes dialed, they've got the play going, but the pass has just not connected with the receiver. It's either been overthrown or the coverage has just not been there, so they can't get synergy going. And hopefully this halftime break, they were able to kind of talk about that. Maybe we see some better passing game from Oakleaf. Rains has just not been able to break through offensively against the Oakleaf defense. The Oakleaf defense, from what we've watched in the 3 seasons now that I've been watching them, their defense has always been their better of the 2 offensive defensive sides. Their defense is amazing. I mean, they're going up against the state champs. They've held them to 2 field goals, no touchdowns, and have scored a touchdown themselves on the state champion defense, a state 3A defense. So to be from a different district and be able to put out this kind of an effort, I mean, you'd love to see a high-scoring game, but realistically, when it's like this, that means that both teams are evenly matched, or at least doing enough good and bad on both sides to have this kind of a matchup. So hopefully we'll see some better synergy. Range looks motivated on their side. Oakleaf has been motivated on their side. So hopefully we can see some synergy happen on both teams, and maybe one will break away in this second half. Start of the third quarter is coming at you as we wait for the opening kickoff of the second half. Rain's kicking off to Oakleaf. Oakleaf going to want this drive to capitalize, as a motivated Rains coming out of the locker room would not be beneficial. And we're away. This one will be fielded after a bobble at about the 20. He's going to bring it up, try to reach the left-hand side. There's probably going to be a horse collar flag on there.
Flags on the play. As a reminder, there will be no re-entry.
Not the 20, it was about the 10.
Once again, as a reminder, there will be no re-entry.
And I'm going to say that's probably a horse collar personal foul. Either that or a face mask. It's hard to tell from up in the booth, as these windows are also getting pretty foggy from this storm system that decided it wanted to break away from us. Let me pop these open. There we go. No, it was on Oakleaf. So penalty on Oakleaf, and I forgot to stop the clock. 11:50 is what the time is. Penalty on Oakleaf will push that return back. They only made it to the 10-yard line. So they'll be pushed back to, looks like their 5, and start deep in their own territory. We'll have a stoppage from the official. for equipment on, looks like Oakleaf, or it's a ball swap.
The night 6 possession at the 5-yard line.
All right, 1st and 5 for Oakleaf. 11:50 starting off the third quarter. Their opening drive of the second half. He's going to start off with a run, trying to go up the middle, and met by the Reigns defensive line. Looks like number 15, as well as number 12, and a third one in there.
Brings up 2nd down.
A gain of about 2, 2nd and 8. Snap taken, passing play intended. He's going to keep it. Wide open field. 1st down, definitely. That's going to be a pickup of about 10 for a Oakleaf 1st down. And it was either a passing play and he decided not to, or it was a fake and intended run. The reset button and the stop button are so close together. There we go. It's going to be a repeat of 1st down, 5-yard penalty. Low snap, but picked up. He passed on the right-hand side, caught. Nice juke move, and he'll pick up 10 on the play, making it a 2nd and 5.
9 yards. Making it 2nd down and about 7.
We're going to say 2nd and 5, maybe 2nd and 6. Fake the handoff, pushing the right-hand side of the field, and he'll make it. That's a penalty flag. That's a pummel to tackle. That's going to be a personal foul, 100%. He was giving himself up to the sideline, and he got straight up clobbered.
Personal foul, laid it out of bounds on the defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty from the end of the line, 1st down.
15-yard penalty to be an automatic 1st down for Oakleaf, pushing them further down the field out in their own territory, closer to the midway point, 50-yard line. They'll be at the 36, 1st and 10. Slightly low snap, passing play, hit as he threw, nearly picked off number 25. That was Jalen Stokes on the coverage. Pass was intended for Oakleaf number 6, which should be Sincere Murphy. And I know that I'm seeing some buffering, at least on the broadcast program. Thank you, Greg, for the volume notification. I'll turn that up. Trying not to blow out ears with the music that happens in the background.
Run up the middle.
Good run up the middle. Gain of, we'll say, 5. Oakleaf continuing to push down this field.
5.
Clock will stop. 9:18. And that's a timeout for Oakleaf, injury timeout. Oh, sorry, official timeout for an injury. And it seems like after those storm systems have moved off, the signal seems to be doing a little bit better. Once again, I appreciate everyone for sticking with us through the technical issues that we're having, trying to get this coverage for you. We do have the game being recorded, so we'll have a recorded version of it without any of that buffering or latency uploaded as soon as we are able to get back to our home internet where we can get that sent through quickly so you guys can rewatch and get all the highlights that you want. Not able to completely make out the number on the Reigns player that is down. Number 9, it looks like Tyson Marsh. It's a senior, 5'10", 175 pounds, listed as a defensive back. So with that, he'll come off the field. Oakleaf will retake the field. 3rd and 6.
Third down and 5.
And it's going to be a false start on Oakleaf in the backfield. That's number 0, CJ Moses. False starting in the backfield. And he's getting a talking to from his teammate. Definitely stopped. They had a 4th and 5 situation that they could have potentially, they had the offense on the field. This was in the first half. Potentially could have gotten a 5-yard conversion and continued down the field, but they had a false start. And those false starts killed that drive. It went to a punt. Got to get that in shape. It's going to be a pass left-hand side of the field, and he is thrown a little low. He did catch it and caught it about the 40. Well, they're going to mark it to 39, and that'll bring up 4th and 8, 4th and 7. As we will pause the clock for injury. And that was number 14 on the reception, Terrence James. But a personal foul will push penalty yardage for a automatic first down for Oakleaf. So getting saved on that play where they were being in a 4th and 10 situation, 4th and 7 maybe. And now they have free first down yardage, passing midfield, and they're at the 46 in Reigns territory. Reigns' personal fouls have killed them where they could have stopped an Oakleaf drive, and it's just allowed it to continue further down the field. So Oakleaf has got their false starts that are killing their drive, and Reigns has got their personal fouls that's keeping them going. Let's see which team adjusts to it first and corrects it for some score points. Passing play, looking right-hand side, nothing there. Scrambling right-hand side and met in the backfield. That's going to be, looks like number 0 for Reigns in the backfield. Jodeem Jones, who chases down number 10 for Oakleaf, Jaden DeLon. And we'll have a stoppage again after another Oakleaf player is down. And that is going to be the quarterback, number 10, that's down. So I'll match the clock up, 7:32 And we'll have a stoppage as we wait for this injury. And a loss of, we'll say 3 on the play, 2nd and 13. And he is up and moving, limping nonetheless. He's got that right ankle he's limping off of. It's either ankle, calf, or knee, something with his right leg. He is not liking how it felt after that play. Good to see him up under his own power nonetheless.
Let's give him a hand. Let's go.
And with that, we will have a change of the quarterback. And try to get that number as soon as I can for who went in to replace him as they take him over to the sideline where he is trying to just walk under his own power. Snap taken directly, running up the left side of the middle, lowers his shoulder, trying to gain some extra yardage. That's number 4, Savion Williams, who was in at quarterback for that play. Number 56 was shaken up a little bit on that play as well. We'll have another stoppage. 6:58 your time. And we'll have another stoppage for a Reigns injury. Looks like just a cramp on that one. Some pickle juice and Powerade will do that some good. Justin Griffiths Jr. says, "Where that dog Trace Burney?" I have not seen him, and I don't believe he's at Oakleaf. He's not anywhere on their roster, I can tell you that much. I thought I remember seeing something in the offseason about Trace signing with a college, potentially.
The only thing we add on is fun, no extra fees.
Running play up the right-hand side of the middle of the field. Gain of, looks like about 6. It's going to bring up 4th and I'll say 5. Gain of 5. They're going quick. Trying to get this running play again, right-hand side. And he slips right at the line of scrimmage. And that'll end that possession. Yeah, so Trace was his senior season last year, I thought. And he transferred into Oakleaf last year for his senior season and was ranked, if I remember correctly, top 140 in the state. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sweet H2O football. Yeah, Trace's senior season, we saw him play. And yeah, ranked top 140 in the state for his position. And I know he definitely, if I remember correctly, in the offseason, he signed with a college. So he is off doing great things in college ball. Multi-sport athlete that we saw. One of the better ones we enjoyed seeing. That was looking like an intended pass play, nothing happening. Penalty in the secondary. A gain of about 5, so we'll say 2nd and 5 for now until we see what this penalty call is. H2O, do you happen to remember what college he signed with? I don't remember off the top of my head. Penalty on the defense will be a 10-yard penalty added on top of that, which will be another first down. And it'll be on the Oakleaf 45. Passing play quick to the left-hand side. Just a little screen. And he'll make it just past the line of scrimmage for a gain of maybe 1.
No gain on the play. That makes it 2nd down.
They're going to give him no gain, 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Another passing play. Nothing happening. He died left-hand side of the field. Open, man. And the hit broke it up. No catch. He beat his defender down the sideline. And then after the pass where he had led his defender, I believe it was number 16. No, it was number 11 that came in from Oakleaf and hit him and broke it up. It was Isaiah Pierre-Val. It was a good breakup for him to save that huge yardage gain that would have, you know, given Reigns the momentum they needed to potentially get a touchdown on this drive. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 instead. Looking to pass again, and he is met by the Oakleaf line. That's going to be number 12, Cedric McNeil, pushing through and getting that sack. That's going to bring up 4th and about 15. We'll call it even further. They're going to mark that 10 yards back, 4th and 20. So that just met him about 5 yards behind the line and just pushed him. And that's going to bring out the Reigns punting unit. So the state champs right now not able to do much of anything against Oakleaf's defense. As we've seen multiple times on these streams, Oakleaf's defense is just outstanding. In all of these situations, they can rally behind their defense and hold teams that should theoretically on paper be very formidable and tough against them, and they're just making it look easy. Kick is being returned, and he'll make it, big hit right about the 30-yard line. Yeah, Trace JMU. I thought it was JMU that I saw. Trace went signed. There were 2. I believe it was Jordan Price was the other one I saw signed. But either way, we wish him luck. It's going to be a 3rd quarter water break. 4:40 left in the 3rd. As Oakleaf and their defense is just able to stuff Reigns on every attempt. Even when Reigns had the potential for that big opening or big passing play on the left-hand side of the field, he had Isaiah Pierre-Val come in and just knock that ball out and knock the receiver down, break up that play, and save what would have been a huge gain. That's the kind of defense we're talking about and we like to see on the stream, because it just shows the consistency that we've seen in the 3 years that we've been watching Oakleaf. Nothing has changed as far as their defense for the worse. They've always had some type of improvement and always had a stout defense that has kept them in games where the opponent that they're facing has shown an offense that should be capable of multi-point scoring, and they've just stuffed them. So loving to see the consistency here from Oakleaf with the first game of the season, not having much change in the offseason. 4:40 remaining. It's going to be first down for Oakleaf at the 30-yard line. We'll call it 31. run up the middle, and he'll get to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2. Bring up second down.
Second and 8.
Roughly 4 minutes remaining. Second and we'll say second and 8. Snap taken, run handed off, right-hand side, gain of about 4. And that'll be a 3rd and 5 situation, I believe. And another Oakleaf player is down. It looks like number 60. It's going to be an official timeout. I believe that's number 60 that I saw. That'd be Jalovin Adamasi. I'm probably butchering some of these names, and I do apologize if I do. Just trying to give a little shout out where it's at. And under these circumstances, hate to see an injured player as always, but it happens in the sport, and you just got to treat it with as best care as you can. And while I've got all the audience here, that was not number 60. It was number 50. 56. My apologies. Trent Glover. Good to see him up under his own power, jogging off the field. So probably just a little riled up on the play. And he will come off for at least a play. Well, while I've got everybody that's here and the stream seems to be working for the most part, what game would you guys be looking most forward to seeing us at this season in the northern Clay, Duval counties, maybe some Nassau County, Bradford County? We'll have to see where we all might go, but what game are you guys looking forward to the most? And we'll see if we can make it. Snaps taken, pass, looking left-hand side. Another pass that we're talking about. Oh, my goodness, this is exactly what we were talking about in the first half. That was a beautifully thrown pass to Terrence James, and he just could not come up with it. Bounced right off of him, and I know he's beating himself up about that one. That'll bring up 4th down. That would have been a huge gain. And that's just the connection we were talking about in the first half. I know he's beating himself up about it. I know he's upset. I mean, it happens in the sport. That's kind of a given. You're going to beat yourself up about that one. It was a beautiful pass. It was right there, and I know he's looking back to get it, maybe looking up in the lights. We obviously don't know from his perspective, but you got to catch those, man. He's getting some encouragement from the coach on the sideline. Love to see it. Encouragement from his quarterback. Get the next one, man. With that, though, it'll bring up 4th and about 6. Oakleaf punting unit will come on the field. And we'll have a encroachment. Normally false start, but we'll see encroachment on this, I believe, on this one.
And that's Oakleaf first down.
All right. Yep, so it was 4th and 5. That was an encroachment on the defense, and they will accept the penalty for a free first down. So there's the penalties that are keeping the Oakleaf drive alive. We were talking about from the Reigns team. That should have been a 4th down situation for Oakleaf, and they are saved by a Reigns penalty that gives them a free first down. It's been personal fouls, and now it's been an encroachment. And keeping Oakleaf alive. They've got 3:22, 3:21 remaining in this 3rd quarter, and they hold the lead, and they're pushing down the field. So a dropped pass saved by an encroachment for another chance at some yardage, and we'll see what they try to make out of this second time that they've been saved. looking to pass again. Defense was through, and he'll be met, taken to the sideline. And that'll be a loss of probably 7 or so. With where they've got it spotted, it looks like it's going to be, yeah, about 7, we'll call it 8-yard loss. And a second down. So second, we'll say 18 for now. There's no official call on the yardage. Not quite a full 10. All right, passing play. Met this time. He's got his receiver out of the backfield. And that was number 6 on the reception, Sincere Murphy. Has been his _1 receiver so far tonight that he's actually been able to connect with. The other one that he's been able to connect with pretty well is London Carswell, number 2. That's been, at least so far this game, has been the passing receivers that Oakleaf has been able to match up with and get some type of connection. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. And they're going to need these 10 yards if they want to keep this alive, because I know Raines is looking to come back after that failed drive, punt away. Snap, looking to pass again. Pockets holding mostly. He'll try to scramble. He'll gain about 5. It'll bring up another 4th and 5 situation. No receivers open, at least in his eyes. Another 4th and 5 situation, and it looks like they're just going to bring on the kicking unit. Punting unit, not the kicking unit, excuse me, not a field goal, punt. And with the clock winding, Oakleaf needs to get in position, otherwise they're going to have another delay game situation. Punt is away. Good distance, lands at about the 19. Fielded by number 5. He's running up the left-hand side. There's a penalty flag, and he'll make it to about the 45. That's to Corey Allen for Raines. And we've got a Oakleaf player down and a penalty flag. And it looks like he made it to the 43 before they spotted him out. And I've got 2 penalty flags, one at about the Raines 38 and one at the Oakleaf 25. And that is, looks like number 0 for Oakleaf, who is down, CJ Moses. And we'll have to wait for injury time as I fix the clock, as well as the official call and what those penalties are before we know exactly where this is going to be spotted. And I've got officials conferring on both sides of the field. Sorry, not the 43. They're actually calling this the 47. Oakleaf 47. There have been a few personal fouls. One was on a 4th and I believe 4th and 5 situation. Sorry, no, that was the encroachment. There was before that, Oakleaf was right around their 25, and Raines had a personal foul that pushed Oakleaf for a free first down towards the field position where we saw the encroachment. That 4th and 5 drive is the drive that was directly after the personal foul. I do not remember what the actual personnel foul was. It looked like, if I remember correctly, there was a horse collar, and then there was some sideline infractions where player was giving themselves up on the sidelines and just extra tackles and pushes that have happened. It's been pretty much all game. Reigns has been having it. We'll see what happens here. Face mask on number 12, Oakleaf.
After the play, late hit against Oakleaf, out of bounds, 15 yards.
A delayed hit out of bounds on Oakleaf as well, a 15-yard penalty. So it.
27, Oakleaf, now they have this to the goal. The ball will play from the 11-yard line. First down run.
So 3 penalties will be a 10-yard penalty, a 15-yard penalty, and then half the distance to the goal. They called a personal foul of a face mask, a personal foul of an sideline hit, as well as another personal foul that pushes Reigns all the way down to the 11-yard line with a first down and a minute left in the third quarter. So three Oakleaf penalties that gave detrimental penalty yardage here. However, in Oakleaf's defense, we not for the penalties, but we have seen their defense hold Reigns at this yardage twice this game thus far in the first half to stop them with no touchdowns. They've only gotten 2 field goals out of this same position. I know that the stream has been broken up, and we'll have that recording of it, but we'll see if, oh, here comes a run up the middle, and Reigns has scored a touchdown. Trying to give Oakleaf's defense the benefit of the doubt, and Reigns has capitalized on 3 penalties that gave approximately, we'll say, 25 yards after that run from the punt, and they've capitalized on it with a running touchdown. He just had a good gap up the middle and ran it in, and I believe that was T.J. Williamson, number 10. I saw some highlights of him in the preseason opener that they had with First Coast, and he has done similar feats. So it does not surprise me that he's able to push his way through on that one. And this was going to be a keeper, and I believe he made it in. Yeah, he did. The 2-point conversion is good, so they'll bring it 14-7 after a keeper from the quarterback, Simon Ellison-Morgan, who saw do the same thing again in a preseason opener last week against First Coast. So going back to at least what I saw work in the preseason opener, and it's brought him up a touchdown and 2 extra points to bring the score 14-7. Not what Oakleaf wanted to see in the third quarter, and I totally missed the clock. They've got 53 seconds. So 7 seconds that ran off on that play after the penalty yardage was enforced, and Oakleaf is going to need to come back with something on this drive in order to keep themselves alive, with Reigns' motivation seeming to spike up and put them exactly where they want to be. Antonio Silvano says, shout out them Oakleaf boys. Lopez, no problem for those personal foul call-outs. And we are kicking away. This one will be fielded. It'll bounce. Bad bounce. Right about the 15 is where it's grabbed. Trying to move up. Left-hand side of the field. Breaks a tackle. Moving up left-hand side of the field. He's at the 40, the 50. He's one person to beat. He's got 2 people swarming him. Nearly breaks that. Got a penalty flag. He'll make it down to the 25-yard line.
Great job.
A penalty flag right around the 30.
Get loud, get loud, get loud.
That was a huge run off that kickoff, and Oakleaf needed that momentum. Hopefully this is not Oakleaf penalties that are going to push them back. This is exactly what they need with 40 seconds left in this third quarter. And a huge run from the 15 to, looks like they're spotting it at the 30. For about 55-ish yards. And they're trying to figure out who did the penalties. Or if there's two of them, because there were two flags. One was about the 30, one was about the 25 for Reigns' 30 and Reigns' 25. So potentially two offsetting or two penalties regardless. We've got to figure out what this call is.
The returner from Oakleaf stepped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. During the run, there's a personal foul, face mask against the kicking team, number 24. That 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down, Oakleaf.
All right, so they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds at the Oakleaf 47, so that is where the ball will be spotted. And then after continuing the play, since there was no whistle that blew it dead completely, there was a face mask penalty against Reigns. So 15 yards will be added from the 47. Spotting the ball should be about the 37. That's 20 yards. I feel like they've miscounted. That should have been... We'll let them take it. I'm not going to fight football math right now. My brain is not functioning, at least right now, for that. That seems to me like that's more than 15 yards, but we'll go with it. That's where the officials spot it, and they're the ones running the game. First down from the 37. So realistically, only losing 7 yards total off of what we saw in that pass right-hand side. Caught. He's got, looks like maybe 9 yards and a penalty flag on the Reigns sideline area. Looks like about 9 or 10 yards. They're waving it right at the marker. So we'll see if they spot it just short or not. Lopez says, "Run, Forrest, run." He definitely was. I'm gonna have to potentially disagree with that stepping out, but I can't tell from where I'm at because there's a canopy tent right on the boundary line, so I can't tell if his foot hit or not. Either way, he was definitely booking. And
10 yards coming from his father,
10-yard penalty on Oakleaf number 1. That is Mike Connor. So that'll push him back 10 yards, and it'll be first, and it'll be from the spot of the foul. So it'll be first and about 16.
First and about 16.
I don't think he was either, Lopez. I know it's difficult to tell, at least from where I'm looking. You guys at the camera angle have a better view. I don't think he was out of bounds. But it's not my call, unfortunately. And they don't use us for... Oh, my goodness. Swarmed by the Reigns defense. Number 3 was there first. Chenanaya Doran, a senior, 6'1", 225 pounds, busted through the line for a sack. That's going to bring up a second and deep. And we've got a timeout. Actually, sorry, that's the end of the third quarter. My clock was off. So that'll be end of the third quarter, second and deep. It's not quite a country mile, but it's definitely not a long. And we'll go into the fourth quarter. Reigns leading 14-7. Oakleaf with the ball, and it'll be a short flop. They're at their 48. It'll go to the Reigns, or technically field flop. It'll go to the Reigns side currently at 48, and then that'll become the Oakleaf side as we are swapping sides. Definitely not an out-of-bounds run, but even with that, the yardage that they have lost at this point due to penalties makes the run invalid. They are pretty much right at where he stepped out of bounds without the penalty yardage added. Yep, spotted at the 48, so they will be pushing 52 yards for a touchdown is what they need. second and long, second and deep, second and long. Not quite a country mile. Feels like it, but I've seen worse, especially on the Oakleaf side. We've seen them make up this ground with their offense. That it's got speed. So Reigns' defense, if they can keep their defensive drive going, then it'll be in Oakleaf's disinterest to not have some explosive play calls here. Holding for just a moment while the officials blow it dead for just a second. Looks like the Reigns sideline has got some stuff going on just at the top of your screen. Some coaches talking with that side judge. Looks like at least two of the Reigns coaches are fired up or upset about something. All right, here we go. First play of the fourth quarter. Second and long for Oakleaf. Passing play, as you'd expect. Scrambling. He's got at least down back to the 1st and 10 position. And he's, I'm going to say, gain of, from where he was at least 15, if not close to 20. They are going to be a third and 9. Sorry, man, these spotters. They're just on they're at the 39. And with where they've got their hash markers, it's hard to tell which one's at which position from at least my spot on the field. It looks like it's a 3rd and 10. The announcer's calling a 3rd and 9. I'm going to say 3rd and 9. But the markers show 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. That's the explosiveness Oakleaf needs to have. They need to have one more play just like that, get them the first down, and continue this drive. That was intended off of a passing play, which is the same thing that happened here. There was a holding that did not get called, and the pass was incomplete. Reigns definitely upset about not getting that call. Incomplete pass nonetheless, and they'll bring up 4th and 9. Oakleaf seems to be keeping the offense on the field. Nope, here comes the punting unit. Oakleaf needs to get set or they're going to get a delay of game if they're not careful. Oakleaf will call a timeout wisely. And I believe it's 10:48 left. Their clock is a little messed up with the numbers, so I can't tell exactly if it's 10:48 or some other 10:40 number, but regardless, I'm going to go with 10:48 until we get a better call. 10:48 left in your fourth quarter. Oakleaf 4th and 9 from the 39. Punting unit on the field after the penalty, and we'll come back as soon as they are ready. All right, we are back. Oakleaf punting unit on the field. Kick is away. It was a good one towards the sideline, and it will take an out of bounds bounce right around, I think, the 15. I can't see with the tent. We'll call the 17. I'm looking at the camera view. That looks like where it's going to say. That's what I would. That's what I would say, MBK. Calling a timeout when you've got a punt, just take the penalty. Have your team walk to the freaking sideline, take the penalty. You're going to punt it anyway. Why call the timeout just to get your guys together for a punt? Take the delay of game, the 5-yard penalty. The most that's going to happen is they're, maybe 5 yards closer off the punt. They're still within their 20 if you do that. So I don't see why you call a timeout there, especially when you're in the fourth quarter of the second half, fourth quarter of the game. And you're going to need those when it comes close to the end of the game when you're trying to get some points on the board. But nonetheless, as I messed up the clock once again, Reigns is going to start off with a running play, left-hand side. Gain of about 5 on the play. And 10:29 as I'm catching my clock up. Left. Exactly, yeah. This close of a game, timeouts matter. I'm not sure what the coaching staff is thinking or if it's just players couldn't get together. Either way, I'd take the delay of game. Especially with how Reigns performed on their last drive. There's a penalty flag, pass right-hand side incomplete. The flag is from the back judge. Illegal shift, I believe, from the offense. Oakleaf doing better than you thought they would. They definitely have been putting up a good game. Their defense has done them some great service this game. I'll give them that. They've always had a good defense. Yep, illegal shift on the offense. All right, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 with that penalty. Yeah, definitely. Oakleaf's defense has helped keep them in this game and helped shut down a Reigns offense that last week put First Coast to shame. It was a 56-13 victory last week for them in their preseason opener against First Coast, and that is not the same team that we're seeing here. And that's just another example of that Oakleaf defense shutting down that run. That was maybe a gain of 2 or 3. Let me see if I can get this to refresh, Lopez. And a penalty. Looks like it's going to be against Oakleaf. Sorry about that, Lopez. The entire first half before halftime, we were fighting some service issues. We had storms coming in the area. That's going to be an encroachment on Oakleaf that is going to push Reigns in for a first down, keep their drive alive. Yeah, we were fighting some issues. We seem to be running decently now, at least for the most part. We do have the recording going, so we'll have that nonetheless uploaded later. Good run. He's got at least 10. Penalty flag down towards the line of scrimmage. Potential holding call. First down, but we have a flag on the play. There it is, holding on the offense. That'll push that entire progress back. So they still have the first down, fresh set of downs, but they are back to where they pretty much were after the encroachment, just slightly behind it. We'll say 8 minutes and 14 seconds. I'll go with 15 just to give a second runoff just in case. The clock is now running. First and 20. Passing play caught, number 6. And he's back at the 1st and 10 and more. I've got 2 number 6s on the reins. It's Jabari Denfield and Marquez Hicks, whichever one of that one is. I'm going off of the roster they gave me.
That makes it second down.
Ed White beat Tacoy Creek 42-40 in overtime. That must have been a good game, man. And he's still up and running, and finally brought down at about the 45. The refs have definitely been calling penalties all game. I don't think there's been many penalties that they've missed. There may be obviously a handful, but they've been pretty good the whole game calling both sides. It's caused a lot of stoppages. I will say that. It's 9:48. These games are usually done before that. Met in the backfield immediately. That's I believe number 10. Sorry, no, I can't see the side of the uniform. It's not number 10. 53, I believe, for Oakleaf. Nigel McClendon, I believe. I can't tell the numbers from the side, and I don't have binoculars. We're going to have official stoppage at about 7 minutes.
Okay, attention everybody stands and has a whistle. If you blow another whistle during the play, I'm going to give Reigns a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against your team for an automatic first down. Do not blow a whistle for the rest of the game. You're out of here, and your first down is 15 yards. You all clear?
All right, so
all whistles, put them in your pockets. Or throw them away, please.
The officials are addressing the student section because some of the students are dressed up as referees. One of them, or multiple of them, have whistles and have been blowing them, and it appeared as though it confused the players on the field. So the referee is addressing it as he should, saying, hey, stop blowing it or I'm going to call a penalty on your team. And a wide open number 2. Oh, my goodness. Tristan Stevenson wide open within the 10-yard line, caught. Luckily, there was an Oakleaf defender that got to him. Otherwise, that would have been a free touchdown. Huge passing play by Reigns, giving them optimal field position to capitalize with the touchdown here. Not what Oakleaf wanted to see. First and goal at, I'll say, the 9. Faking the handoff, nearly picked off. He was met as he was faking the handoff. Him and his teammate got stumbled up on each other. Was met as he was faking the handoff and then managed to get it off and nearly had it picked off. Second and goal for Reigns. Running play met again by the Oakleaf defense. That red zone Oakleaf defense is just something else, I'll tell you.
That brings up third down.
Third and goal. That was number 11, I believe, on the stop. Isaiah Pierre-Val. We've called him quite a few times. Clock winding inside the 6:20 mark. Third and goal, pushed back to about the 14, we'll say the 13-yard line, and timeout called by Reigns. Never mind, fourth quarter water break. In the words of my nephew, Oakleaf need to get their stuff together. He said they had him stopped. He's been watching the game happily. He said they had him stopped almost the whole game, and they've let him just score and score, and they need to stop it. It's not. He doesn't even go to Oakleaf. He's just watching the game and kind of picked a side that he's rooting for. So take his words of advice, Oakleaf. Stop him if you want to get this game back in manageable position. Otherwise, Reigns is going to run away with it. Clock is running, 6:10-ish. Reigns in red zone position. First throw is up, but not there. That was an incomplete pass. Coverage was there. 4th and goal inside the 13. The Oakleaf defender is down. He took a pretty big fall after the coverage. He is over on the sideline, so he's up and running. That looks like number 1. That's Mike Connor. And we have 6 minutes flat right now left. Looks like Reigns is going to try to put 3 on the board with an extra point attempt. They've been successful with their first 2 thus far, although they were about this far. They had one that was at the 22 and one that was, I believe, at like the 19 or the 18. And this one's at the 20s where he's going to have to kick it from. This one should be within his wheelhouse to make. And we will have to see here. And penalty flag. Delay a game on Reigns. That'll push him back 5 at least. Yeah, 5. So he's going to have to go from the 25 now. I know his leg has been there. And my camera has frozen. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get that corrected. Give me 1 second. I'll call the audio as I can. I'll call the audio as I've got it. As I've got my technician up there trying to work on it. Kick is blocked, and it reaches the sideline. Oakleaf broke through, blocked the kick from the 25-yard attempt. No good. No points put on the board. It's currently 14-7. Currently, Reigns has the lead. I'm going to run upstairs while we've got this transition and try to get this camera fixed. All right, we got the feedback. After the blocked field goal, Oakleaf is going to take over. It went out of bounds at roughly the 18-yard line, so they're going to be at their own 18. Oh, man, I know. Oh, my goodness. There's the penalty flag. That blatant. Man, Lopez, unfortunately, I don't know what happened with the camera feed. It froze, and when we went to reset it, something with it just wouldn't refresh. I was able to get it. I think the camera cable, where there's a bunch of guys on the top of the press box, and I think they might have shaken the cable loose or stepped on it or something. But with that penalty, that'll push Oakleaf outside of red zone territory. First down from, we'll say, the 34. Running the ball and stopped.
Got another flag on the play.
Another flag on the play, though. And I'm going to try to get the clock as matched up as possible. Lopez, we would greatly appreciate that. Another unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. That's going to be another 15-yard penalty. This is the penalties we were talking about with Rains. This has given Oakleaf, at this point, 30 yards in 2 plays, and they haven't even had to do anything. Lopez, we definitely are looking at getting some new cables. We're trying to upgrade the equipment. Without trying to make a sales pitch, we are looking for sponsors for the year, partnering with local businesses and such and individuals to make this as best as possible. So if you're interested, please shoot us a message over on our Facebook. Handoff to number 2, pushing out the left-hand side. He could not get back. He gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe another yard. Penalty flag on the far side of the field. I know that myself and Courtney are looking at potentially just buying all new cables because these cables at this point are probably 4 or 5 years old, so they do need to get swapped out. So we're looking at that. If you would like to help out, please get in touch with us, and we'll try to work something out. This one is going to be a holding on the offense call, so it's going to push them back 10 yards, 1st and 20. So they're going to be spotted at the 39. First down is going to be across midfield to the 41. Yeah, the refs are calling almost every play now. And I'm Oh, here we go. Dump off pass caught left-hand side of the field, pushing, and he may have gotten the first down. He was close. I'm going to stop the clock just so I can try to match it up. Good possession gain there. See where they spot the ball if they're going to give it second. They're going to say he went out of bounds about 4 yards short, 2nd and 4. No flag on that play. We're under 5 minutes left in the game. Oakleaf has possession and is 7 down. Pushing down the field. Quick pass caught left-hand side of the field. And he definitely had enough forward progress. We'll see if they give it to him. He did. It's going to be a first down Oakleaf. They are going to stop the clock for the chains to move. 4:43. I don't see a penalty flag on that one either. I believe they're going to call an official water break. And, yeah, they have definitely been calling a lot. They have given, at this point, just on this drive alone, in penalties, 40 yards against Rains. All right, sorry about the muting of the audio. We just try to keep away from copyright strikes or such like that. 1st and 10 for Oakleaf after those penalty yards and everything that's gotten him into this great field position to continue this drive. And stoppage from the referee. Clock is at 4:41. Let's see what it is this time. Looks like number 1's having to come off the field for Oakleaf. That's Mike Connor. Number 23 going on in his place. That is Jace Jackson waving off the penalty flag, thankfully, finally. We have one that's been waved off. That's the only one that's been waved off all game. All right, clock is running now. Oakleaf, 1st and 10 from, we'll say, the 42, 41, 42-ish. Passing play, right-hand side of the field. Could not connect with his man. That was intended for number 14, Terrence James, TJ. Overthrown. That's been the story of Oakleaf's passing game, long passing game, pretty much all night. Lopez says, unsportsmanlike drinking of water, 20-yard penalty. It would not surprise me. We've had all kinds of unsportsmanlikes tonight. No fights. I will say that, no fights. And we'll keep fingers crossed, no fights. Everything has been on the field of play and just, hands being where they shouldn't be, pushing, shoving, trying to make sure the play ends. So all in the sport of the game. Just a lot of calls. Fake the handoff, passing, dumped it off number 14, caught that time TJ, and he'll get out of bounds at the 44. Sorry, 36, going the opposite way. Play clock will stop at about 4:14. I'll give a little bit of extra time just to make sure I'm matched up. It's going to be at the 36, 3rd and about 5 for Oakleaf. Oakleaf is pumped up trying to push down this field. They still have to score in order to bring this game even. They have 4 minutes to score, hold the Reigns offense to a 4 and out, and then either score or get some type of points on the board to win, or we're going to overtime in an already lengthy game. He's going to keep it himself, run to the right side, get the first down. He's going to be inside the 20, right about the 27 is where he'll be stopped. If there's anything I don't wish, it is a lengthy game to go longer. It is now past 10 o'clock. Normally these games are done by now. These referees are somehow still wanting to call penalties and stuff instead of getting this game done, which I genuinely, as a spectator, having seen some games like this, I appreciate. But at the same time, there's some stuff that if it's not in influence of the play, you kind of just leave it. It happens, unfortunately. All right, 1st down, Oakleaf. Man in motion, number 14. Handoff in the backfield, met by, looks like 3 Reigns defenders. Number 0, number 28, I think, and number 4. We'll say Jodeem Jones, Travion Williams, and 24 is James Beal, I believe, if I got those numbers correct. Going within 3.5 minutes here. It's going to be 2nd down, loss of yardage, about 2nd and 14. Fake the handoff, dump off pass, number 14, TJ. He is met. Oh, ball comes out. Reigns has scooped it up. Not been blown dead. Reigns has the ball, broke the tackle, shed it. He's going downfield. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Reigns. We do have penalty flags. I'm going to hold off on the score for now. We've got 2 penalty flags on the Reigns side of the field. If this stands, this will be detrimental for Oakleaf. We do have 2 penalty flags, Reigns far side of the field and an Oakleaf man down at about the 40-yard line. The dump-off pass to Oakleaf, number 14, Terrence James, stripped and picked up by Reigns. And currently, if it stands, will be a Reigns touchdown. Oakleaf's hope is in these 2 penalties flags. It is roughly where the ball was taken from the receiver. So as they're tending to the Oakleaf player, coaches look like they're going to try to get and figure out what the actual call is to make or break this game. Player that was down for Oakleaf was number 2, London Carswell. He is, number 1, Mike Connor. He was up walking under his own power, stumbled, and now they're carrying him off the field. Seems to be in physical pain. He's just kind of hopping. Oh, he's back down. Something is not okay. Hate to see that.
Was a pass, a catch, a fumble recovered by Range. During the return, the Range player lateraled the ball forward, which is an illegal forward pass. The ball will be spotted from the spot of foul, 5 yards, first down Range.
All right, so the call that is going to stand on the field is a catch for Oakleaf by number 14, Terrence James, stripped by Rains. During the return, right where the penalty markers are, there was a forward lateral to another Rains player, resulting in an illegal forward pass and a 5-yard penalty. So Rains will take over at roughly the 40-yard line, 39-yard line, with, scratch that because my clock is wrong, roughly 3 minutes left, 3 minutes, 10 seconds, and the start of a first down drive. So the touchdown will be wiped off, open right-hand side of the field, hurdling a man, and pushing into Oakleaf territory at about the 35. Cedric Williams, at least because I'm looking from the box, I'm not looking at the camera, you would have to probably play it back. They're saying he lateraled it, not handed it off. But technically, if you hand off, you cannot hand off forward nonetheless. So even if you handed it off and he handed it off forward, it is still a lateral, is I guess what they're considering it. You would have to play back the camera because I am looking from the press box to the field, not at the camera view. All right, it's going to be run again. Met in the backfield. No, not. He kept it. He's even psyched me out. Gain of about 2 or 3. It's going to be within 2.5 minutes here. And Rains might be putting this one away. Trying to capitalize if they can with another touchdown. But 14-7 with 2:20-ish left. Clock will stop at about 2:16. Timeout Oakleaf. They'll have 1 remaining.
Oakleaf.
Joseph Dodson, glad you were able to see the game. What player are you rooting for? That way we can maybe see if we can get them on the camera. Well, even with the camera malfunction at the blocked field goal, the second half streaming has definitely gone better. It seems like those storms that we're rolling through have impacted our streaming capability in the first half, and we've got it mostly sorted here in the second. I'm glad we were able to get this sorted for you guys. Again, we will still have the recording that we'll put up, and we'll try to patch together as best as we can so it's one coherent game. So that way you guys have the best view possible afterwards. Another run up the middle. He's got open field. 2 defenders to beat, and he will be called short. He'll bust his way through to about the 2-yard line and be stopped short finally. Eric Hill, number 15. All right, number 15 for Oakleaf. We'll see what we can do. Oh, no, they're not again. All right, this one definitely has been cable stepped on. There we go. Yeah, they're stepping on the cables upstairs. A bunch of coaches up there getting excited, jumping around, hitting our cables. All right, and this one's going to be easily taken in by number 10, TJ Williamson, for Reigns touchdown. That's going to bring this to 20-7. And there's going to be penalty flags due to where he ran and just caused quite a fuss and commotion between some players.
Remember sportsmanship.
Clock will stop about 1:39 left. And while they can't call the touchdown back, they can definitely call penalties afterwards that are enforced for Oakleaf position if it was on Reigns.
Personal foul. Defense number 55. Personal foul. Number 17. All knockdown.
All right, so they're going to call 2 personal fouls, one on Oakleaf, one on Reigns. They will offset. The touchdown will stand. Rasheed Wallace, Ball Don't Lie. Great stream, guys. Enjoyed it and appreciate it. No problem. Glad you're able to tune in and able to see your player as best as we can get them on the screen. Oh, there we go. All right, extra point attempt for Reigns. The penalty's offset, so nothing will be enforced. Reigns will attempt their extra point. And I believe we'll have a delay of game. Yep, delay of game. We'll have a 5-yard pushback. Shouldn't be an issue for this kicker's wheelhouse. Most likely we'll see the extra point go on. It'll be 21-7. We have a 1.5 minutes left. Definitely a good game for the most part. Obviously, the penalties keeping both teams kind of out of reach of scoring a lot higher. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. That will be a good extra point for Reigns. 21-7. And not that they're calling the game early, but a bunch of the Reigns coaches are leaving the press box, so they're definitely they think they're done with their job. Apex Media says, thanks, go Vikings. Glad everyone has been able to view the game thus far. Again, apologize for the first half issues, technical issues that we had. Glad we were able to get them sorted in the second half for the ending of the game here for you. And we'll try to have that recording posted as soon as possible, most likely tomorrow, depending on if we can get it snipped together tonight. Kick is going to be a little short and bounce out of bounds. And Oakleaf players having to restrain their own Oakleaf players to keep from any personal foul penalties or unsportsmanlike penalties. Savion Williams being held back by number 19, Cameron Keene.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. The ball was placed on the 35-yard line. First down, Oakleaf.
Ball's going to be at the 35. First down for Oakleaf with roughly 1:40 left, trying maybe to capitalize and put 7 more on the board. You may not be able to win this, but you still have to fight to the end, put more points on the board, get some positives and negatives throughout the whole game so you can come back next week with some improvements. One of which, for both teams, needs to be the penalties. There's just too many on both sides. If we had a tracker, I would say both teams are probably well over or close to 100 yards in penalties. Rain's for sure over 100 in penalties with the amount of personal fouls they've had all game. Oakleaf is definitely close, if not over. All right, play will start. He's going to dump it off to number 14, and he'll get out of bounds. Shoved out of bounds by number 24 on the coverage. That's James Beal, free safety. He is a junior, 6'1", 180 pounds. With that, the clock will have stopped at about a minute 26. And it'll be a second, and we'll say 6.
We still have a lot of fight in the night. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oakleaf trying to motivate their team to some more points. Number 10 scrambling, looking for something, not finding much. He's got a hole, and he'll be clobbered after passing the line of scrimmage. Gain of about 2 on the play. That's Jaden DeLon.
Like a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down.
They're going to give him 4 yards, 3rd and 2. Clock will continue to run. We're down inside the 50-second mark. 3rd down. Passing play. Pressure, scrambling. He'll pass before the line of scrimmage, and it will be incomplete. I mean, he caught it, but I guess they're going to say he was out of bounds. Number 23 will have a stoppage for injury, 37 seconds. Number 23 was the intended receiver, Jace Jackson, and he did catch it. He just was out of bounds. And number 1, the injured player, Mike Connor, again, coming off the field. Looks like it's just a reaggression of that injury he had earlier in the game. All right, 4th and 2 for Oakleaf. 37 seconds. Clock is starting, counting down. Looking to pass. He's got his receiver, number 6, and he'll have the 1st down. That's going to be Sincere Murphy. Clock will pause just for a second to move the chains. They'll have 28 seconds. 28 seconds to get to a touchdown, put some points on the board. And clock will start. Counting down 25. Snap is off. 1st down pass. Nearly caught again by Sincere Murphy. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Clock will stop with 17 seconds. Nearly had Sincere Murphy over the middle again. All All right. 2nd and 10, 17 seconds on the clock. Snap is off. And nothing happening pass-wise. He's going to scramble for about 7. Clock will stop when he goes out of bounds with roughly 8 seconds left. Oh, no, he had enough for the first down. So it's going to be another first down. And he'll be at the 32. 32-yard line. 32 yards, 8 seconds. What could be the last play of the game for Oakleaf. One of the last ones for sure. 1st and 10 from the 32. Snap is off. Clock is winding. And he is gobbled up. Ball is out. The ball is loose. And it is recovered by Oakleaf. But that will end the game. End the game on a fumble recovered by Oakleaf. Recovered at the 34-yard line, so a loss of 2 after the fumble. Your final is going to be Reigns defending 3A champions, 21, Oakleaf 7. Reigns showing why they're the defending champions in that second half. Their first half, Oakleaf had a decent time stopping them, 2 field goals, and then scored their own touchdowns to lead 7-6 when we went into halftime. And then coming back into this second half, they got shut out completely. Did not score. Reigns was able to capitalize 2 touchdowns and 1 extra point, 1 2-point conversion to bring them 21 points. Showing the tenacity and the drive that it takes to win this game against a stout Oakleaf defense. We're not going to discount the Oakleaf defense here. They did a heck of a job. The Oakleaf offense, if we're going to take any pointers away, just needs to get on the same page. Their passing game was not where it should have been. Their running game, because that's all they could resort to, was getting stifled. Oakleaf has got to come together and find something better in this next coming weeks. Again, this is the season opener, first game, so we're not discounting them for the rest of the year. Oakleaf has shown us that they have taken losses and then come back and won. This is definitely by far one of their toughest opponents, at least that I've seen so far on their schedule, against, again, the defending 3A champs. And we'll have to give them credit where it's due. Well, with closing remarks, thank you all for watching. We appreciate the support. We appreciate being able to bring you these games. We hope to continue to grow and improve. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, get us known so that families of the players can see the player footage, get it known so that you guys can continue to watch me continue to do it. We appreciate everything you guys do to support us. And we look forward to seeing you next week. I'll get with Courtney and we'll try to see if we can get an announcement for which game we're covering out. Other than that, you guys all have a blessed night. Stay safe. And we'll see you next week on Friday Night Lights on SSB.